Good morning, good morning. Can anybody hear me? I think we are live. Let's see. Yep, I think we are live. Good morning. There we go. Okay, I just sat down. I got my daughter on the bus today. The kids are back at school, so I'll have a little bit of peace and quiet this morning. I will have to end the stream a little bit early today. I have a dentist appointment I have to get to. So let's see what's going on here. It is Monday, December 2nd. Let's check out the news. Go over to our trading timer. Looks like at 8:45 in about a half hour, we have final manufacturing PMI. And for other high impact news today, looks like ISM manufacturing PMI at 9 a.m. and not too much else. And tomorrow, Jolt's job openings at 9 a.m. Other than that, not too much going on. Let's check out our higher time frames. On the hourly, looks like we are currently in a bullish uptrend. Same thing with the 15. And same thing with the 5. So we are in full bull mode. But we always have to be careful that at the open, because they like to flip it around right there at the open. And usually, we'll get a signal right before the open to reverse things. We'll see if that happens today. We're actually getting a little bit of a delta squeeze signal right now to go short. I'm going to go ahead and give that a try. Tried to start the stream a little early today so I could start catching these signals right before they open. So we'll see if we can get one today. You might notice that there's a new indicator on my screen. That is the trend analysis strategy from Zeiierman. I'm just kind of checking it out. Not actually using it. I just wanted to take a quick peek and see how it looks throughout the day. So if I go ahead and turn that off, you'll see it gets rid of this bar at the bottom. And there's also some other lines there on the top. So there's these little take profit points. Those are the X's. This green line it's like a trailing stop. And the idea is when you get this, these little arrows at the bottom, or this, I don't know what you'd call this, a little histogram looking thing. When you see that spike, that's typically where you want to enter for a continuation of the trend. You can see, like right here, right on that high or low on the signal, that was right on point there. So far, that thing looks pretty good. So if this line is green, you want to enter. These little triangles are like a little continuation of the trend, or that's what they are supposed to signify. These, the larger one, that's supposed to be, I guess, a bigger pullback in the trend. And they seem to coincide with my normal entries, so we'll see if maybe I can start using that a little bit. Like I said, we're just checking it out here. Got about 10 minutes until the open. So far, our delta squeeze is looking pretty good. We have the daily open sitting down here. Also previous day high. We also have the VWAP way down here at 979. So we could get a bounce somewhere around here. Daily open, the VWAP maybe, if we can make it down that low. But we are in a bullish uptrend, so we are kind of going against the current right now. So if we do have a continuation signal, which would be a tick up from this green zone, I'm going to have to exit. Looks like we're retesting that 8 SMA right now. Starting to flash a tick up there in the green zone. We're also starting to flash positive on the delta. That is our chop signal when we go from positive, negative to positive, so we got to keep an eye on that. Looks like got about 8 seconds. Looks like I'm gonna have to pull the plug on this one. All right, and we are out at about break even here. Right, I pulled it right before the close. Looks like I was out at 0.38 right there. So lost a 1/4 point on that one. Pretty much a break even. We'll go ahead and call that a break even. It's less than a point. Good morning, Jay Waz. How you doing today? So far I entered on this delta squeeze, but we got chop signal right out of the gate, so I had to pull it early. Watch them slam it back down here now. Excited to trade today and watch for setups. Yeah, me too. I got to call it quits early today, though. I got a get back to a dentist appointment. So it's going to be a short one for me, I think. Hopefully we can get a few good trades in during the first hour. So of course they had to drive it up to force me out at my break even right before they slam it back down. Good morning, Stealth. How you doing today? Biting your teeth while trading, probably. They do tell me that I grind my teeth, and I never notice that I'm grinding my teeth, so I don't know where that comes from. They say people do it in their sleep, but I don't know. I don't know if that's a new thing that... It seems like it's kind of a newer thing they've been telling people. I don't remember them telling people that when I was a kid. Maybe they did. I don't know. Well, I wish this setup would have played out a little bit cleaner like it did last week on the ones that I missed. But that's basically what happened last week at about 8:15, 8:20, somewhere in there. We got that delta squeeze for a short, and then they dropped it hard at the open. We've got about 3 minutes here. Back to retesting that 8 SMA. If you look at the 5-minute, we do have that positive slope on the delta on the 5. We are bullish across the board up there, so we could see some continuation here out of the gate. Stealth, I've been good, or I'm good. Been playing with the delta indicator. Need to read the playbook. Caught the buy off the bottom at 9. So okay, yeah, around there. Yeah, it looks like that was a decent trade up, which coincides with this new indicator from Zeiierman. See where you get that little spike right there? That's supposed to be an entry. We do have a higher low printing right now, right before the open. Looks like we're starting to put in a little bit of a broadening formation here. Something to be aware of. Higher highs and lower lows. We still have this this very choppy looking delta. I don't like deltas that look like that. So I'm gonna sit it out for now. See what we do on that opening candle. And we are open. Very choppy delta so far in the last 15 minutes. And so far we have pushed above that broadening formation. Looks like we're heading straight for that pivot point. Previous week high is sitting up there at 81.25. This higher low right here looks like that was the, see the little green triangles? That's supposedly a good entry area. Then you get the higher low there on the Cumulative Delta. So far, looks like that would have been a great trade if anybody took that higher low there. I did not take it personally. That was at 8:28 right before the open. And counting. Looks like it ran 80 points so far since that entry signal. Still, I find it hard, like, psychologically to enter right before the open. And those typically end up being some of the best trades of the whole day. You know, and then having the chop box up there, that kind of screws with my psychology a little bit. But if you ignore the chop box, you ignore everything, and you just take the signal. That's the signal to go long right there. You got a tapering delta, and you got the higher low in the green zone. And you can see that delta really thickening up there on the 5-minute. So for those of you that that tried to find the stream on Friday, I apologize for that. I said I was going to stream Friday, and then I woke up Friday and I had this massive headache, and I was like, there's no way I can stream and talk while I feel like this. So I thought about streaming after I got going there, but I didn't. It actually ended up being a pretty good trading day. There's a few really good moves early on, and then it kind of flattened out as the day went on. But so far, we are just straight up out of the gate here. We're going to be patient and wait for that entry signal. I forgot, what did we have for news? Was it 8:45? Yeah, 8:45, final manufacturing PMI. Well, we just busted through that previous week high like it was nothing. It does seem like it's going to want to continue pushing. That delta is very thick now. On the 1 minute, signal line is flat across the top of the indicator. When it does that, you know that was a pretty strong impulsive move. Stealth caught it. Looks like you're being a little bit more aggressive than I am today. I need to get more aggressive at these opens. It seems like lately, every time I regret not taking the signal. Ends up being one of the best trades of the whole day. So, tomorrow, I am going to be a little bit more aggressive, I think. Even if we have the chop box. Because you know the price is going to move, and you know, at the open there. And usually the signal right before the open, it's a good one. Still, if you don't trust the open, yeah, I know. Well, I don't either, but I always seem to regret not taking it. So sometimes it's better to play it safe, but that can kind of hurt you too in the long run. If you don't take the winners. You know, when I backtest, I never, I never sit there and say, oh, well, I wouldn't have taken this trade because it's the open or because there's news. Like if there's a signal and it satisfies the rules, when I backtest, I record the results. And almost always the signals right before the open or even a news event, they end up playing out. So if you don't take those and they're big winners, that skews the rest of your results. That used to be a big problem of mine, is where I would for some reason end up taking all the losers and let the winners go and not take the winners. And combined, if you took them all, if you took all the signals that satisfy your rules, then your results at the end of the day, well, at least generally speaking, anytime I backtest that, the results at the end of the day, they're always positive. Whereas when I start to pick and choose which trades to take, then that skews everything. We're getting a little bit of a pullback to that 8 SMA. We'll see if this turns into a bull flag. Do any of you guys know who Mark Douglas is? The trading psychology guy? I've seen a lot of his stuff, and he always talks about how you can't pick and choose your trades. If your results are satisfied, you have to take every single one over the series of 25 trades or whatever it is. can't tell if that signal, yeah, it looks like that signal did tick up there. That delta is just so thick. Starting to put in a little bit of a lower high on the signal right now. But again, that signal, or the delta, is so thick. It's got a lot of momentum to the upside. Got that news in about 3 minutes. I like thick deltas, and I cannot lie. Yeah. Now that delta's tapering down. Looks like we wicked to the penny of that trailing stop loss. Again, I'm just evaluating that indicator. I'm not really using it. Just trying to see if I can maybe improve my game a little bit using that in combination with this. So JWAS was having a lot of success last week, trying to follow the more of the 5 minute, and take signals on the 1 that coincided with the signals on the 5, which is a really good idea actually, because that acts as a little bit of a signal filter on the 1. You don't take as many trades that way, and they tend to be in the right direction. So I was going to try to do a little bit more of that today. Try not to get in and out of the chop so much. All right, that news should be in. We are getting a tick up on the 1. Delta is still positive. Go ahead and give that a shot. I just took a long entry there. I'm in at 129.50. We do have a thin delta that is pointed down, so we do have to be a little careful. But everything in the higher time frames is pointed up. Starting to get that positive slope back in that delta. We'll see if it can continue. We are back above that 8 SMA, so as long as we don't start chopping the 8, we should be good here. There's another little push. Oh, wow. My wife is just telling me about XRP and how it's $2.65. What? Is that right? No, that can't be right. Is that right? Holy cow, it is. $2.65. I got out here at like 191, somewhere in there. My wife is still in, and she's been in since like 45 cents. So she's killing it right now. This looks pretty bullish. I have my TP set at 125 ticks, but I was thinking about moving that up. I just moved it. But we are right here at this pivot, so I want to see if it blasts right through here. Go ahead and move my stop to break even. You know, the other day I said I was going to start trying to take smaller targets, which is why I had it set to 125, but I like going for the bigger moves. Results in a lot more break evens, but I still feel like overall I do better that way. We'll see if that can be said for this move. I don't know. We just got a doji there on that pivot line. We're starting to get a tick down there in that upper power zone. But again, that delta is still has that positive slope. It's still pointed up. So I'm going to let this one ride a little bit. If it had a down slope, I definitely would have pulled the plug there. Or if it was negative. But we still have that positive slope, so I'm going to stay in. We're also still above that 8 SMA, which is bullish. Hopefully we can just weed out some of the sellers here on at that pivot line and continue to the next one. Where's the next one? Well, we got our average daily range line here at 202.75. Our next pivot line's way up here at 284. But it looks to me like it wants to push. So starting to flash another tick up there above that rising delta. That is a bullish signal. If I would have left my TP in place, we would have just hit it just now. Hopefully you guys are long. What did we have at 9? Let's see. ISM manufacturing prices. Wasn't there something else too? Manufacturing PMI. That's the high one. The high impact one. So that's coming in about 5 minutes. We're retesting that pivot line right now. Delta still headed up. However, we are starting to signals going below the Delta. That is, if it closes below the Delta, that's definitely a take profit point. Yeah, she's looking a little heavy now. Delta's starting to taper. Might end up closing under that 8 SMA. We'll see if we can hold above it. And she held above it, at least on that candle. It's looking a little heavier now, though, and the Delta, I can see, looks like it's starting to turn down a little. Looks like I would have been better off sticking with my 125 ticks on this one. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull it. That's too bad. I got 10 points out of it, but I could have had... I was up 41. $10.25. That's all right. It's still a winner. Delta's starting to flash negative a little bit. It's teasing. So remember when I said it's a take profit point when the signal closes under the Delta? That's right here. That was at 856. If I would have pulled it on that one instead, that would have been 27.5 points. Would have done better. It's that one candle after that close under the Delta that got me. I mean the close under the 8 SMA. That's what I was waiting for. Stealth, it hit Monday high. Check out Spaceman BTC indicator. His levels keep aware of where the price might turn. Okay. Cool, I will check that out. So back again to that trailing stop, wicked to it, and now we are pushing again. That news must be out. Delta is still bullish on the 1. However, if we tick down here, we're going to have some bearish divergence. All right, we officially ticked up there. It's in the red zone. It's a little risky, but if you want to be in line with everything else, you could go long there. It's kind of a risky long, but I think I'm going to wait personally. See, we've been moving up, but what gives me a little caution here is we closed under the 8. We closed under the 8. It's like it's going up, but it's kind of struggling to go up here. It could have just been because the news was coming up. We'll see. Starting to flash that bearish divergence now. We're getting a tick down underneath the delta. Now, would I short that? Because that's technically like a delta squeeze setup. However, this one failed. And typically, if the first one fails, you don't want to keep taking them because you're getting into a sustained uptrend with that delta just kind of hanging out in that upper power zone. So this is likely just going to be more of a little pullback, and so it's better to wait for the long signal if it does flash down here. Check out the 5-minute quick. Very bullish looking on the 5. Self says the open is the trade of the day. I would agree with him. That opening signal, I've said this before. It seems really risky because the open's like right around the corner, but it's like the amount of times that thing wins and how big it wins, it's worth the risk, in my opinion. I just need to start getting more aggressive about that. It's like we're putting in that, flashing that bearish divergence again here. Had you taken the opening trade, where would you have gotten out? Well, let's see. So here's the higher low. There's the open. Definitely would have hit 125 ticks if that's all I was looking for. But if I'm just going by cumulative delta signals, as long as the delta remains fat, I'm going to stay in. Typically, the first close under the delta, like right here, it's a good take profit point. So I likely would have exited right here. That's at 842. So let's see where that brings us. Brings us right here. So that's 82.75 points. And then it's just a matter of waiting for the next setup after that. And notice how the gains are getting smaller and smaller here as we kind of creep forward on these subsequent setups. Now, as long as you've kind of identified this as a sustained uptrend, you can take these tick ups from the upper power zones, like right here. There's just, you got to stomach some drawdown with some of those. Like here, I don't like buying big candles. I like buying closer to the 8 SMA. So, you can use this as like your buy signal and then put your entry or enter around this 8 SMA down here. It wicked to it right here. If you did that, you'd be up quite a bit, 25 points right now. But if you took the close of that candle, then it's kind of, you have to sort of clench through that. You have to stomach some of that drawdown. And it looks like if you used an 80 tick stop, that almost would have taken me out there had I taken that. Which is why I don't like taking those, but yeah, if you focus on these opening trades and get that initial big move, and wherever you end up, you could just take 1 or 2 trades a day that way and still be very profitable. Another thing you could do if you really wanted to push it, so say you take half off at the first, close under the delta there, and then you take the rest off after the delta turns negative. Well, looks like it might have flashed negative right here. So you would have got this, to there if you're waiting for it to, flash. But if you're waiting for like a clear negative delta, like what you see over here. So just a little bit bigger of a delta candle. It hasn't even printed that yet. So you still could be in this trade if that's what you're waiting for. So in that case, this would be up 132 points right now. But it's still a good idea to at least take half off, on that first close under the delta in the power zone. And, you could trail it. You can add to your position on some of these others. But once it kind of makes its move and starts to consolidate like this and flatten out, that's where things can get dicey. You can lose money when she flattens out. Starting to put in a high or low on the signal right now. We still have that positive delta slope. So this is starting to look like a decent long entry zone. Potentially. I ended up going long at the 8 right here. 175.25. This is the way that I prefer my entries to look. I like to get in on those wicks by the 8. Those are the optimal entries. The playbook talks about that. There's a whole section in the playbook on that. Looks like we're flashing a little take profit point on Zeiierman's new indicator. That green line is the average daily range line. That line is also seems to be pretty accurate most days. Market kind of likes to stretch to that line and pull back. There'll be another one down here. Let's see where that one is. Way down here at 773. We're starting to get a delta cross there on the signals crossing below the delta. Delta's pretty thin up there. If I close under that delta, I'm going to pull the plug. All right, I pulled it. Another small, tiny winner. 8 1/4 points. Closed under that 8 SMA as well. Didn't quite reach that average daily range line. I was hoping it would get up there. It still might go up there. See how we continually are closing under this 8 SMA. We're going up, but we're chopping the 8 as we go up. I don't like those. I don't like this grindy upwards action, because usually that means when it goes to the downside, it usually breaks kind of hard. Starting to get a negative delta in there now. It's rolling over. It's kind of hard to see because the delta is so thick on the 5, but we're actually putting in a lower high on the signal on the 5 too, so there's some bearish divergence in there. The 5. Yeah. Also have to watch for potential broadening formation here. Let me redraw that. That's a little better. Let's check in on XRP. Holy cow. $2.71. Let's go to the daily here. So she was in around like 45 cents. She's up like 500%. That's crazy. All right, so we got the signal in the green zone. We have the delta crossing under the confirmation line, but it's very thin. As long as it stays thin, we're also getting these little continuation triangles on that other indicator. So as long as that remains thin and tapering like that, and we get this tick up from the green zone, that's a long entry. However, this does appear like we could be flattening out here, so got to be cautious. I went ahead and took that signal, so I'm long at the close of this candle. My early exit here would be a tick down on the signal line. So if we get a tick down, I'm pulling the plug. I don't want my full stop to get hit, which is currently 80 ticks. I like to prevent that from happening as much as I can. Risk management is the key to the game. Keep those losers small. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of losers, as long as they're small, and your winners are bigger than your losers. I'm going to go ahead and just leave my take profit this time at 125 ticks because we got the top of that broadening formation up there. We also have the average daily range up there. So if we can get up there, I want to take profit. Question is, can we get up there? Delta's starting to turn positive now, which is a positive sign. Come on, bulls. Let's push it up there. I don't think we have any other news really for today, do we? FOMC member Waller speaks, medium impact, but those usually don't really move the market, so I'm not going to worry about it. She's kind of struggling to get up there. We are starting to flash a tick down here, which is if that happens, it's actually a sell signal on the 1. But it's not official. It flashed it. It didn't close that way. The delta is under that confirmation line, so if we get a tick down from this red zone on the 1, that's a short, but it goes against the higher time frames a little bit. So again, if we're getting into more sideways action here, you're going to have more of that. So if we tick down here, I got to pull it. It's going to tick down. Nope, not official. That's why you wait for the candle close, guys. Starting to flash it again here. Come on, bulls, you can do it. Push it up there. Just got to get all those sellers out of the way, out of this fair value gap here. Probably a lot of sellers trying to step in right there, so get above that. We do have the delta curling back up on the 1, which is what we need to see in order to get the price up there. So the buyers are in control here. Maybe temporarily, but as of right now, they're in control. I think it needs me to step away. So I'm going to go fill up my coffee, and hopefully by the time I get back, I will have a winner. No winner? Well, it's working at it at least. Come on, market. You can do it. Delta is now back above that confirmation line. It's an area where you want to be really cautious, though. Once that delta dips below that confirmation line, any tick down in this area is something you don't want to ride out if you're long. But as long as she keeps pushing, we're going to stay in. Hey, while we're waiting, could you guys do me a favor and hit that like button if you're getting any value out of the stream? If you're not getting any value out of it, then don't listen to me. Don't hit the like button. But if you find any value in this, I would appreciate that if you help out. Getting closer to my target here. We just took out that high. Now we just have to push a little bit more. So when you're trading a broadening formation, the actual target is the previous high. So it actually hit that. So I'm looking for a little bit of a bigger push here, but if you wanted to be really conservative, that's your target. And then after that gets taken out, if you get a sell signal here, your target ends up being that low. We are flashing this tick down here, guys. Just not a lot of fire under the bulls to push it up there. Maybe they'll do it now. Come on, guys. Let's hit that average daily range line at least. And again, see how it was flashing that tick down, but it was never official. It didn't officially tick down. So that is why I wait for the candle close. That's why I use the trading timer. I don't know if anybody else out there is using that trading timer, but that is the purpose of it, to help you time your entries and exits. Now we're flashing that tick down. Did we get it? Yeah. We got it. It's really small. You could see it right there. That little red triangle. The close of that candle. I got out a little too late. I should have pulled it right at the close of that when I was talking about it. It was right there. But I got out a little too late. I'm right here at 190. So I still got 13.5 out of it. I could have done better. Would have done better if I would have just targeted that high like I mentioned. But we did hit that. We did hit that average daily range line. Hold on a second. My magnet was getting in my way. There. Look at that. Pinpoint accuracy. So 13.5. Stealth, how do you get the average daily range? That is a Zeiierman indicator. It is called the Onsen Effects Algo. So in that indicator, it prints your average daily range. It prints your previous week high, previous week low, your previous daily high, previous daily low, your daily open. All those significant levels come from that indicator. And what's nice is it does it all automatically, so you don't have to go figure it all out. It just puts them on the screen. Fang, does the TOMMYBOTS subscription include the Cumulative Delta indicators? No, it does not. The indicators that I'm using are Zeiierman indicators. I am a customer of Zeiierman just like you guys are. So again, if I was, I was going for 125 ticks here. I thought we would get a little bit of more of a pop there. So I was just a little too high, but if I wanted to be more conservative, I should have just targeted that average daily range. That would have been 26 points had I done that one. Still a winner though, can't complain too much. This delta right here, see, it's very thin. It's starting to get spotty and thin now. This is about the time when you want to walk away, guys, to be honest. Once we start getting thin and spotty like that, the market really likes to chop sideways. Excuse me. And I said I was going to cut it short today. I have a dentist appointment I have to get to, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and I'll be back probably later this afternoon, and if the market's looking good, I'll probably put on a few more trades. But I think we're going to end it here. 3 wins, 32 points. I could have done better if I took that opening trade. But, there's always room for improvement, right? So, all right, guys. Well, good luck. We will see you tomorrow. Take care.
Oh, wow. Look at that move. It's like one of those big Delta candles. I mean, who even trades those tiny candles anymore? I like big fat candles, I can't deny. When the Delta's green and riding high, when a chart spikes thick with a bullish wick, I'm glued to my screen, that's the trick. I want to bounce quick, can't let it go. Big Delta bars, let that volume show. I'm zooming out, yeah, that's my groove. Catching waves in a Delta move. Wanna trade slow? Nah, too tame. This market's got heat, I'm in the game. Delta's skinny, not my taste. Fat candles on my happy place. Oh, traders, let me see that line. When the buyers push, I feel just fine. It's the fat move, no squeeze fake. I'm in this trend with no break. Got entries stacking tall, no weak signals, I'm all in, y'all. Skinny candles just ain't for me. Big Delta's not golden key. Sitting tight while volume pops. Green wave up won't make me stop. Short candles, nope, they're a bore. Give me fat deltas, I want more. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. I wanna break through, you know. Then hold, then play, don't you fold. Big deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right. Big fat candles, can't deny when the volume surges up so high. Skinny trades can take a seat. Big fat deltas are what I beat. Well, traders low, let me see that life is cause of my happy delta. Skinny, not my taste. Fat candles on my happy place. Oh, traders, let me see that line. When the buyers push, I feel just fine. It's the fat move, no squeeze fake. I'm in this trend with no break. Got entries, stacking tall. No weak signals, I'm all in, y'all. Skinny candles just ain't for me. Big delta's my golden key. Big delta's my golden key. Sitting tight while volume pops. Green wave up won't make me stop. Short candles, nope, they're aboard. Give me fat deltas, I want more. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. Wanna break through, you know. And hold and play, don't you fold. Big deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right. Like those thick moves, yeah, yeah. I wanna break through, you know. Then hold, then play, don't you fold. Big deltas fill the chart with might. Skinny moves don't make it right.